6 members of the Lion's Den and other militant groups were killed during the raid. The militant group Hamas, which controls the Gaza Strip, warned that, but Palestinian videos posted on social media also show young men in the street. Israeli troops have killed at least 11 Palestinians and wounded dozens more during a raid in the occupied West Bank, Palestinian health officials say. Explosions and gunfire sounded as troops entered the old city of Nablus on Wednesday morning, sparking armed clashes with Palestinian gunmen. The Israeli military said it killed 3 wanted militants holed up inside a house who refused to surrender. Several of those killed outside were civilians, including 2 elderly men. The Palestinian Health Ministry said 72-year-old Adnan Sabara was one of them. Video footage purportedly showed his body in a street next to bags of bread, in what is usually a busy market area. A 61-year-old man, Abdul Hadi Ashkar, and a 16-year-old boy, Mohammed Shaban, were also shot dead, the ministry said. Another elderly man, Anand Shaukat Anab, 66, who suffered from tear gas inhalation, died in hospital on Wednesday evening. 6 members of the Lion's Den and other militant groups were killed during the raid, the Lion's Den said in a Telegram post. The number of dead is one more than that of an Israeli military raid last month in Jenin, which was the deadliest in the West Bank since 2005. What makes this raid even more significant is the huge numbers wounded, with the Palestinian Health Ministry saying more than 80 people have suffered bullet wounds. 5 different hospitals in Nablus are currently treating them. Senior Palestinian official Hussein al-Sheikh condemned what he described as a massacre, while a spokesman for Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas said he held Israel's government responsible for this dangerous escalation, which is pushing the region toward tension and an explosion. The militant group Hamas, which controls the Gaza Strip, warned that it was monitoring the escalating crimes conducted by the enemy against our people in the occupied West Bank, and is running out of patience. The raid lasted 4 hours and took place in the middle of morning, when the narrow streets of the old city are often packed with families and people shopping. Resident Khalil Shaheen described hearing an explosion, which woke him up. I looked out the window and saw special forces with dogs, and they were connecting wires, which I assume are for TNT, God knows, he said. The Israel Defense Forces said it upgraded its operation after forces were shot at by Palestinian gunmen. Its troops fired shoulder-launched missiles at the building where the wanted militants were hiding, which caused it to partially collapse. It said it acted when it did because it had real-time information, thought to be a geolocated Facebook post, on the location of one of the militants. We saw the threat and we had to go in and finish the work, IDF spokesman LT Col Richard Hecht said in a briefing to reporters. But Palestinian videos posted on social media also show young men in the street, who appear unarmed, apparently being fired at while running away, with one falling to the ground as gunshots are heard. The IDF described the footage as problematic and said it was being reviewed. 2 of the militants in the encircled building were Mohammed Junaidi, a commander in Palestinian Islamic Jihad, and another senior militant figure, Hussam Ilim.